And welcome back, everybody, for those 6 brave souls who are still crazy enough to watch. And by that I mean the 5 of us, and I'm pretty sure somebody's mother's watching. Probably yours, right, Dark?
No, my mom can't even turn on a computer.
Alright, I just randomly called one of you, and I figured I called OPT out last time, so I figured I'd call you out this time. This is issue 9. I'm not going to give a title out right now because I don't feel like spoiling some of the fun that may or may not be coming your way. I am your glorious host, TGE, and of course the normal cast of characters is here. We've got Narestra.
Hello.
OPT Lawyer.
Is there any fish anywhere?
The aforementioned Dark Falls.
I don't know why you put yourself and Glorious in the same sentence, but no. And hello, chat.
And Crimson Alex.
Can we end this already?
They really do like me, folks.
No, I do. No, seriously, I just have 2 words for you, TG.
Alright.
Ogre assassin.
Will you stop? It was a samurai ogre, not an ogre assassin.
I don't care, I want an ogre assassin now.
Well, you may or may not get your wish tonight. We may see an ogre assassin. Who knows? But I can't get into any more details than that, because that would be spoiling a plot if there is one.
Just stay home all day and do nothing. Yeah! Let the world figure itself out for a day. The entire session is just sitting out around the loft
Shawarma.
area, just chatting.
Oh, right, you're going full Tony Stark with a shawarma now?
Right.
TG, what session is this?
This is issue 9.
Okay. Issue 9 or session 9?
Session 9, issue 1.9.
Okay. Because, if there's anybody out there that is binge listening to this, I apologize.
If there's anyone out there who is binge listening to this who can handle my horrible jokes and my voice for the over 14 hours of content we've already recorded, good for you, whoever you are.
And we'll send help soon.
Or fish.
Yes, Swedish fish. But, as it is, again, this is issue 9. And before we get going, I suppose we could probably use a recap of what has been happening here in the world of Bay City Chronicles. Am I correct?
Yes, please.
Alrighty. So, to give a summary of effectively the first 8 issues here, you basically issue 8 or issue 1.8, the things you can't outrun part 2 was sort of like a mid-season finale, sort of, as you will, sort of the first half of things sort of came into the light and sort of climaxed there. So basically, there was an explosion downtown, or actually not downtown, by the docks. Our 4 lovely heroes sort of got intertwined into fighting whatever the heck came from that. Turns out later it was, you found out it was an explosion of nanotech. You then got brought back to the building you currently see on screen, which is Stormbreaker Technologies. Got introduced to Thomas Casey, the president and CEO of Stormbreaker Technologies. Ended up having to go find some other nanotech. Found some things in tubes. Turns out they were experiments. Something happened between Spectre and Casey that was unbeknownst to people. It did come to light. Basically, Spectre does not or did not trust Casey. I will leave that up to your interpretation as to who wants what. A bunch of things came to light there. Turns out Thomas Casey used to be somebody known as the Black King. He helped people escape from people who were trying to hunt them down. Gives them new names. Basically, he was, your typical a cleaner, as it were. Turns out one of the people he was responsible for cleaning was also a perpetrator of the July 4th airport shooting in Los Angeles, which took the lives of 2 people. Those 2 people, you found out later, happened to be the parents of, as you knew him, Spencer Dalton, but his mother's last name was Dio, so his mother's last name was Dalton, took the last name, his real last name was Dio. He ended up wanting revenge on Casey, ended up kidnapping both Casey's nephew, and the other kid you guys had run into who had transformed into a giant tentacle-wielding fish monster. You guys chase after him. Turns out it was a ruse to get you away from the city. You came back to the city to an army of robots who were being controlled through the radio tower on top of a TV station. Then you basically, well, by basically I mean you effectively kick the ever-living crap out of Spencer in his battle suit and turn him into a pinball and the city into the pinball machine. We ended the last session after you guys had brought his broken, battered, and comatose body back to Stormbreaker Technologies.
I'm going to bed.
Fair enough.
We're just tired. This is technically fatigued.
Yeah. So basically what's going to happen here is unless there's anything pressing that people want to address, we're going to skip...
Yeah.
We're going to skip
I do
forward.
want to
You do?
something.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
But once everything is all done, we're going to skip forward a couple of days because through the medical testing, you know that there's nothing that can be done right now to get Mr. Dalton out of the coma he's in. So it's just a matter of waiting, unfortunately.
I want to make sure the kids are okay.
Both kids are fine.
Okay.
I mean,
Over the course of these next few days, I'm going to work on my weaponry.
Alrighty.
Well, I'm going to go to bed. For now. I don't know what I'm going to do the rest of the days, but I'm going to go to bed.
Alright. So, our otter friend is in bed. Malkier is working on weaponry. We have Anton and Spectre left to do things with.
I'm locked in my room right now.
Okay.
Probably for the best.
Spectre's a little angry.
And I am just cleaning my armor up and resting.
Alright, so anyone who is going to be awake approximately... Basically when the morning news cycle would hit on the East Coast. So we're talking like 9 a.m. East Coast time. For the next morning, anyone who would be awake at the time, go ahead and give me a perception check. So that would be about 6 a.m. where you guys are.
Low.
Well, it's okay. This isn't a hard one. This is more to you hear the TVs and stuff playing, and it breaks into a sort of news flash, and it talks about you start hearing about the robotic army. Oh, hey, look, Dark's already started.
Dark, you should just change your dice color to black so we actually don't have to see the horrible rolls.
You know, that's not the worst idea in the world.
Just lie and say the 20s.
So you all are able to hear it because it's you know it's the lead story on every news show that there is, and it's talking about, especially here in Bay City, it's talking about the army of robots that were marching through the city. Very a lot of the older folks were comparing the way the robots were marching to almost Nazi Germany because they were very like in line and all that. That's just because it was easier, of course, to have them move that way in programming. But that's the big story when it comes to the news cycle. What's up?
To be fair, would it really have waited until the 9 a.m. morning news on the East Coast to really talk about this? It would have been a news story all night.
Well, right, but the news cycle, the early morning news cycle, is for the next part of it. So the reason this is a big thing now is because this is the first time that the president of Gendyne, who the robots came from, has had a chance to address things because of the way that the time cycle worked and trying to figure out what was happening. So he took a little bit of time. He issued a small statement once everything went down and once people realized where the robots came from. This is really the first time he's had a chance to make a full address. And you basically get the whole rundown of President Andrew Vernon of Gendyne basically talking about how everyone knows that they are not just a technical facility. They do have, that Gendyne specifically is the weapons research division of General Dynamics. And they do have a research facility in the Bay City area, and they have no idea what happened. They're looking into it. As far as they can tell right now, it appears to have been and they're saying an outside source affecting the programming. So they're not claiming responsibility for anything because, as you guys know, it wasn't technically their responsibility. But because he is not outright claiming responsibility and claiming it's an outside source, the good part for you guys is that all the media attention is focused on that and not the fight you guys had on top of the TV tower.
Whew. I don't know. The media seeing me, that'd be terrible.
But yeah, so the three of you who rolled above a 10 hear that.
Oh, I could have just taken 10 then. My perception is literally plus 16, so.
Malkier is too focused on new weaponry.
Malkier thought he heard something, but chalked it up to just being a dream and stayed asleep.
Yeah, he's dreaming of sharp swords and nunchakus and a really fancy ornate spear. So that is what happens.
I make my way towards the infirmary / lab where our friend is currently being held.
Yep. He is held. He is definitely currently comatose, hooked up to a bunch of machines. You have seen a lot of this setup before. Having the soldier background, you have definitely seen other fellow soldiers, hooked up to a bunch of machines like this. So this is not something you haven't seen before.
Okay, I just stay at the observation deck. I don't go down to him.
Every time you have to roll that, it gets harder and harder, by the way.
I go to see Connor.
He was back at his normal house.
Oh, I thought he was with us. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, you brought him back, and Thomas was like, yeah, no, we're probably going to get him back to where he needs to go.
Right, okay. So I did make food or something.
You know the role.
Yes.
Woohoo! We have something edible for breakfast.
Yes, you have bagels and lox.
So that's it?
Lutra, or Brandon, you can have my lox. I'll just take the bagel.
Oh, but I was gonna actually make like an omelet with smoked salmon later.
Which you
saw
can do.
Yes, I saw it on TV. It looked yummy, and it had smoked salmon, and I think that's good too. I don't normally buy stuff from the store, but, you know. Smoked salmon is nice. What's cooking shows what?
Oh, gosh. So, for the two of you who are not in the kitchen area, you are probably at least alerted to the delicious smell coming from said kitchen area.
Alright, I'll just wander on over there and steal a bagel. No walks, because fish is gross.
I actually am not in the kitchen area. I'm still down in the observation deck.
I'm gonna head out to investigate the smell of food.
The one crazy thing you do notice when you get into the kitchen, both of you, is it's pitch black. Like, there's no lights on.
Does the kitchen have Alexa?
What?
No, Alexa would not have been around at that point. Remember, we're in 2008.
Right, yeah. Gosh, that was 10 years ago, jeez. Hey, does anybody want, like, oh, I don't know, a paper plate or something?
Can we
Well,
turn the light switch first?
Light? Are the lights on?
No, the room is pitch black.
Huh? No, it isn't. Lucher looks around confused. Not that you can see it.
Stumble into the light switch finally.
Click.
Ah! Lucher covers his eyes. What? Huh? Huh? He blinks a few times, looks around like,
The big thing now that the lights are on is everything's in color.
oh. Okay, I guess the lights were off. Then, what time is it?
About 6:30
Oh.
in the morning.
Oh gosh, I thought it was a little later than that. Oh. So, you couldn't see anything?
No, this room was pitch black. You mean you can see in the dark?
I couldn't before. Lucha looks at you, looking actually very nervous.
What do you mean before?
Like, a few days ago? When we were, like, we went into the dark lab? I couldn't see anything then.
You should probably have your eyes checked.
Hmm? Lucha looks very nervous and just kind of pads off. He then finds a blanket someplace and like covers himself with it. And then uncovers himself and says, "Oh, something's wrong, guys. I don't know what's wrong." He pads over to Anton.
What do you want me to do?
I don't know. He hugs you.
I just kind of shake my head and go back to like looking at the morning news.
Can I eat my breakfast without you on me?
Oh, Yeah.
Thank you.
Lucius looks away sadly.
Aww. Alright, so
Lucha goes to find Thomas.
who is not in his office?
Mm-hmm. Just kind of starts patting around the complex a bit.
You probably know he's, because it's still technically a weekend, he's probably up in the penthouse, not awake yet.
Oh. Okay.
Spectre, how long are you spending on the observation deck?
Quite a while.
Anything particular you're doing and or looking at, or looking for?
Just watching. Not really looking for anything. Sort of pseudo-monitoring his vitals.
Vitals are fine once you guys got him back and stabilized him.
Yeah, well, still. There's anger, so I'm watching him like a hawk because I don't trust him. I've seen enough Marvel movies to know better.
At this point, I think only... Yeah, at this point in the world, the only one that would have come out would have been Iron Man, and it's definitely more of a documentary.
No, I was saying that out of character.
Oh. Well, I'm telling you that in character. Iron Man is a movie, but it's a documentary.
I just kind of look over at Anton and tell him to go control his friend.
It's my day, isn't it? Dang it.
Yes, you're the babysitter.
Turns on Food Network.
And you just hear, and more butter, and more butter, and more butter, and welcome to Paula Dean's Kitchen.
Hey, Brandon, come watch this. This is what you need to be cooking.
It's
Huh?
it's chicken fried steak
Oh.
and country gravy.
Oh. No, thanks. I'm good, thanks.
It's got butter.
Yeah, butter's nice and all.
But then Paula Dean says something about a sweet dessert.
Yeah, she definitely does that. Probably some shoe fly pie.
Lucia just kind of keeps pacing back and forth.
I just look over at Lucha and tell him that if he's that worried about it, we can go get his eyes checked out at the lab.
Yeah, that's... Feel better.
Well, he's in a safe spot, so it might.
Might have to. I don't know. We'll wait till Thomas wakes up.
Well, it's your call. You gonna be paranoid about it, or we can get it looked at?
I'm paranoid about a lot of things. This is just one more. That's all. He thinks about what he just said and kind of frowns and walks away.
I just shake my head and go back to reading my newspaper.
I'm just picturing now. I'm just picturing like an assassin in full getup, like daggers and swords hanging, just sitting in a chair, feet up on the table, cup of coffee, bagel, and the newspaper open with the Sunday Funny pages.
Exactly.
That'll be fantastic.
That is so good. Yeah, and it was like, yeah, he's pretending to like making it look like he's reading the articles, but really he's just reading Garfield.
Doing the morning jumble.
Yeah, the Sudoku, because it's Sunday, it's the hard one.
I'm gonna roll a perception to see if I solve the puzzle.
That would be an insight check, actually. No. However, Anton over your shoulder does.
The black dice doesn't make it any better, but at least we didn't have to see the number on the dice.
I just like toss the paper aside.
Malkier puts the paper down. Anton walks over and takes like 2 minutes to solve it.
I was paid to kill, not to read.
Anton, give me a perception check. Okay, you do not hear him.
Well.
You do not hear him mumble that.
Did you say something? Huh? Oh, whatever.
It was the otter.
Who's not even in the room.
Huh?
Just hear him pacing back and forth somewhere. Yeah, that sounds about right. Was there anything else good in the paper?
Just more stuff about those robots.
Yeah, so basically, everything sort of... That's the whole sort of news cycle is dominated by that. And after Paula Deen is reruns of Japanese Iron Chef.
Ooh.
So lots of live fish there.
Yes. Lucha keeps pacing, but he paces more in the living room.
Yeah, keeps pacing, and then you hear, and today's secret ingredient is live tuna.
Tuna
Sturgeon.
surprise.
Sturgeon. I'm afraid to what would actually be in whatever tuna surprise Lutra makes.
Well, it really depends on the roll now, doesn't it?
That's the surprise.
That's the surprise. You never know how it's going to come out. So sometimes it's really great, and then sometimes everybody else says it's not so great, but I don't know why I think it's great anyway.
By the way, you guys don't see that. That was text. I forgot to whisper.
See what?
Yeah. That's, yep.
I can't type.
Apparently I can't either. I'm trying to help you.
Doesn't work.
Yeah. You do hear the kitchen's AI speak up. If he attempts to make tuna surprise, I'll shut the power to the oven. Which I think is only the second time you've heard the AI speak up.
Wow, even the AI doesn't like your cooking.
Aww.
Do you know how long it takes to get the smell of burnt fish out of my circuits? Poor Cribby! It's slash whisper, not W.
Yes, I know. I'm trying to
So we have one who can't type and one who can't roll.
One who
And oddly, I'm the only decent one out here.
Oh, come on. We all know that's not true.
if you're the only decent one out here, the world's screwed.
Didn't you just get your ass kicked last week?
True, I did.
Yeah, he says as he goes and pops out another dent from the armor.
I'm the only one not critically wounded here. Actually, Lutra is the only one who wasn't, like, actually hurting. Lutra kind of looks up at the AI voice thing, and like, oh, that's weird. Hi?
What's weird?
The voice. I didn't know there was one.
I've been here since you guys got here.
Oh. Well. Hi. Lutra waves.
You do know I have no way of waving back, right?
No?
Can you teach him how to cook so he stops poisoning us?
I haven't poisoned anybody yet.
I do
I
ensure that all the
believe you
fish is
made-
fresh.
I believe you made yourself throw up last week, if memory serves me correct.
I did not.
If I also recall correctly, that's because he overate on the Swedish fish.
Right, okay, well that was candy. It's good candy too.
That we're not out of.
Yeah.
Hey, Kitchen AI, can you order more Swedish fish?
Of course I can.
Lutra's ears pop, like perk up. And she rubs the hair in his fur, or the fur on his head.
As soon as, so he's like, yep, alright, Mr. Anton, how many Swedish fish should I order?
One second.
The AI starts doing the following. Do 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 do.
I think 1,000 cases should be good enough.
I just got my breath. Oh, great. The AI is a smartass, too.
I can only
Yeah, next
do
time
what
I'll
I'm
just use the
programmed to
hammer.
do. And,
Next time I'll just use my hammer to place the order.
the order has been placed. 1,000 cases of Swedish fish, both regular and rainbow. As you hear that, what's up?
That should keep the otter under control for a little while.
And as you say that, you see what happens with Spectre, and then you just hear as the door shuts.
Lutra, I do have to mention that when Spectre threw the locks onto the ground, it landed about 2 feet in front of you at your feet.
Lutra looks down at that, frowns, looks back at Spectre, and looks back at the others and says, I don't think he likes me.
I don't think he likes anyone or anything at this point.
Could have just asked for a plain bagel. Lucha grabs some paper towel and starts to clean up. He also looks really tempted to eat the stuff off of the floor.
Roll me a will save.
Debating if I want to throw this.
I leave the decision in your hands.
Okay, he doesn't. Because he's got a bunch of fresh locks anyway that aren't on the floor.
At this point, when Lutra walks away, what can only be described as a prototype Roomba comes up, goes over. and produces like, the little robot hands with a little broom and a little dustpan and sweeps the locks into it and then rolls back away.
Richard tilts his head and watches this. It's like, huh. That's a thing. Is Thomas up yet?
Would you like me to check and see if Dr. Casey is up?
Sure.
Very well. Hold on.
Don't wake him, though.
You do realize that I also have access to all of the security cameras, right?
I didn't, but now I do.
He is awake, and is wondering what you need.
Okay. I need to see him, actually.
He said he'll come down shortly.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Now,
do I-
please stop cooking fish. My circuits can only take so much of it.
What? I
And
didn't cook fish.
as the AI says this, the TV changes from Food Network to Travel Channel, and it's Barbecue Pitmasters.
Mm.
It's smoked ribs and pulled pork and anything.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's it's all meat but no fish.
Lucha does. He kind of frowns, looks away, and then kind of keeps looking back. Yeah, just kind of like every so often, just kind of looks back, like, "Oh,
We're gonna have to order some of that for you. You'll like it.
So basically, actually, probably about 20 minutes later, you will see Thomas will come down in the first time you haven't seen him in a over-the-top suit. Because you guys first met him, he was in the flamingo pink, then he was in a bright red. So usually he's in these over-the-top bright suits. He is full-on in casual Sunday mode. Like, he comes down, he's in pajama pants, and the t-shirt he's wearing says, you must construct additional pylons.
I just toss a bagel at him.
He catches it.
Lucha pads over to Thomas. Excuse me, Mr. Casey? Sir?
Yes.
Hi. I think there's something wrong with me.
You probably had too many Swedish fish.
Well, okay, other than that, I was up earlier today and I was making food, and everybody else said the lights were off, but I could see everything perfectly fine. And I keep walking into dark areas, and I keep being able to see everything.
And this is new?
Yes. Yes, this is new. This has not been like this before.
Well, I can make a couple of conjectures, but I should probably run some tests.
Okay. He looks over at Malkier.
I know you're not necessarily going to be okay with this, but would you follow me to the lab?
Yeah. It's fine. Lucha pad's very close to Thomas the whole time.
I just pick the paper back up and go back to working on my puzzle.
You guys make it? As they get like really close, he even grabs his hand.
Yeah. And just because the crossword puzzle likes to have a little fun, you're not quite sure how this happened, but one of your clues is a 5-letter word for obnoxious fish eater.
I got that one.
So, so head down to the lab, and Thomas sort of gives you the whole. And they don't like this, but I'm trying to be not invasive. So he pulls out what looks sort of like a X-ray machine, but you're not entirely sure what exactly it is.
Bless you. Look, you know your mic's live, right?
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Ooh. All right.
Oh, no.
Nope. So we're gonna roll with this. As he goes to power on the machine, something sparks, pops, and hisses, and you get a flash from the back of the machine.
Ah! Which immediately starts flailing about.
He's not pinned down. He can run as he pleases.
That's what I mean, though. He's like, he's blind right now, right?
No. It's basically like the machine was popping to, like it blew up basically, but it was like a small like a Roman candle pop.
Oh, okay. You said flash. I thought.
Yeah, like a small sometimes when basically when you touch two metal wires, you're gonna get that little spark.
Okay.
That
All
type
right,
of flash.
Okay, so I'm sorry. So Lucha screams and then rolls off whatever. Was he sitting on a table or something?
Yeah.
Quickly rolls out the table and slams himself up against the wall, the furthest wall away from the machine.
And you look over and you see Thomas with his hand in his face, just go like, "That was not supposed to happen. I apologize for that." Two options. We can wait till I fix this, or we can do it the slightly more invasive way.
What's the other way?
He pulls out a syringe. Blood test.
How long will it take you to fix that?
Depends on what's wrong with it.
Okay.
He looks over. Oh. You hear something, he ruffles into a drawer, pulls something out, it's a soldering iron, so he turns that on, so next thing you hear is with a little soldering torch. He goes back in, goes, and about 15 minutes later, and it's fixed.
Oh. The entire time, by the way, Lucha's just been plastered against the wall. He has literally not moved an inch the whole time, except maybe his tail is kind of wagging a little back and forth.
Yep.
Like
so
that.
when he tells you it's done, do you peel yourself off the wall a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, because the AI had a little fun, and there's an outline of Lucha against the wall, like one of those old school police tape outlines.
Lucha just kind of steps forward and looks at it and says, "Okay, it's not gonna blow up this time, right?"
It shouldn't.
Okay. How did you fix that so fast?
I'm very good at what I do.
Okay.
Okay, no. Not only does it not break down, he repaired it to the point where it gives him almost an instant feedback. He basically knows the entire vital scope of Lutra, the entire thing. He now knows that, because technically Lutra is not of this world. Correct? He is getting that scan. He now knows that Lutra, not being of this world, coming near from, as Krim has so loved to put it in the Discord chat, Otter Space, that there is residual cosmic radiation and cosmic energy throughout Lutra. And that is what has triggered a sort of miniature mutation, which he explains to you the concept of what dark vision is.
Richard tilts his head and listens to the entire explanation. And once he finishes, he says, "So, I just mutated dark vision?"
Basically, between the cosmic radiation, coupled with a lot of the stress you've been going through in the past week, has triggered a latent mutation.
Oh.
Or it could just be the lots of fish, I'm not sure. He says that last one with a grin that is clearly sarcastic.
Oh. I ate a lot of fish for a few years now, so... Richard doesn't actually understand that that's sarcasm.
I know.
Looks back up and says, "You think it's the fish?"
No. It's not the fish.
Okay. So, is that gonna go away?
Nope, it's permanent.
Oh. Okay.
So
That's weird.
you might need one of these, and he's opening. You see him like he's opening drawer, closing, opening drawer, closing. Like he takes him like 7 drawers to find it, but he finally pulls out a sleep mask.
Oh. Oh. Hey, thanks. Lucha pads over and takes it. It's like, I was having a hard time getting to sleep last night. I thought I was just wound up from all the excitement. Thank you. He hugs Thomas.
Okay.
And smiles. Looks up and pads quickly out of the laboratory. Back over to the group. Or whoever's left.
Anton's the only one left at this point.
Hi, Anton.
Hey. They figure out what's wrong with you?
Well, yeah, so apparently, something about cosmic radiation, because I'm from another world, and, something else, and I mutated, and I can see in the dark now.
Are they sure it wasn't the Swedish fish?
Yeah, Thomas said it wasn't the fish.
Yeah. Also, I would like to take this time to propose the new Bay City Chronicles theme song, My Otter Knows What You Do in the Dark. Sorry.
Well, you have night vision now. That's helpful.
He gave me
Any
this
word
too.
on it?
He holds up the sleeping mask because getting to sleep now is going to be harder.
Oh, fun. Any other news from anything, or are we still...
Oh, the machine he tried to scam me with almost blew up. And then he fixed it, and then it worked really well, I guess. Lucha rubs his arm just gently. Oh, oh, there was something I wanted to tell you a while back. I can try to remember what it was. Oh, I think I remember. No, it's not important.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go get these dents
Oh,
out of
I
my
remember
armor,
now. I wanted to tell you, my name. I never got a chance to tell you that before. What?
I've walked off.
Oh. Oh, he's gone.
It's still playing it's still basically playing Travel Channel. At this point, it's gone from Barbecue Pitmasters to Bacon Paradise.
Really? We haven't gotten to Man versus Food yet?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
That's on next.
Luke just sits on the couch and just watches.
Dunk, dunk, dunk. That is Anton removing the dents from the armor. So, does anybody have anything else they want to do? Because for the rest of this basic day, there's nothing sort of happening.
I'm good.
We're just gonna learn about food.
Lutra
That's
does
all.
have the Cooking with Kids cookbook that Malkier found for him as well.
Oh, right. Lucia pulls that out and starts reading it. And asks a nice AI to turn off the television for him so he can read the book.
Also, I know that this is definitely a whispered conversation, but everyone who is watching this will see it, but for those of you who are not part of it, I definitely just whisper typed the following quote. I will get working on it as soon as I change out of these flammable pants.
And that's why I don't wear pants.
Good to know. Good to know. Alright, so we know what Malkier's being taken care of, Lutra's watching cooking, Anton's removing the dents.
Actually, you know what? Lutra kind of looks around at one point and says, go back to my apartment and make sure everything's okay. I've been away from my apartment for a few days now.
You
But
can do
everything in
that.
the fridge is ruined. What did you say?
I said you can absolutely do that if you'd like to.
And she kind of... Lutra looks over, goes to find anybody.
Anton's the easiest one to find because you just hear the tonk, tonk, tonk.
Hey, Anton.
What?
Hey, I was thinking, probably should go back to my home apartment and kind of make sure everything is... I haven't been there in a few days. And, maybe I should clear some stuff out of there or something. If I'm going to be here for a while longer, so...
Just see if Casey will do that.
Oh, okay, good point. Thanks. Pat's away to go find Casey again.
You're not entirely sure where he is because you won't check the lab sections. You're still a little freaked out from the exploding X-ray machine.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I can ask the AI. Excuse me, computer?
Yes.
Where is Mr. Casey at?
From what I can tell, looks to be he's in one of his R&D labs.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm just looking for him real quick.
Is there any message I can pass along to him?
Yeah. Would you mind, I want to ask if I can either have someone else or maybe go check my home apartment real quick and make sure everything's okay, because I've been away for a few days now.
Would you like me to call you a cab?
Oh, sure.
We can do that. There'll be one waiting for you down at the front entrance in 10 minutes.
Okay. She looks around and says, I don't actually know how to get off this floor.
You hear boom, ding, and the elevator opens.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Pads and like after the door is closed a second, and then like eyes wide open, it starts tapping at his belt and changes him back into human form.
Mm-hmm.
He hums some nice elevator music.
Alrighty, hold on 1 second here. Alright, so it sent that information. So we will address the name of the AI here in just a moment, because I need everybody for a second to close their eyes and picture with me Lucha in a cab.
Lucha in a what?
A taxi cab. And you get a response, I do have a name. You may call me Hub. So it takes you get to your apartment, Lutra. And well, when you get there, it is definitely not how you remember it.
And she kind of like runs inside.
It's been ransacked.
Oh no. I want to make a joke about owning a pet goldfish, but I'm not sure that's...
Lutra has a stuffed goldfish.
Oh! She runs and looks for it.
It's torn to shreds.
Aww. Almost cries at the sight. Looks around and so looking around, is there any way for him to tell what they were looking for specifically, or if they were looking for anything, or is this place just destroyed?
Well, if you want to give a cursory look around, you can give me a perception check. If you want to take a more thorough look around, you can give me an investigation check.
Can I do both?
You can. That would be the perception check first, though.
Right.
Looking around, just taking a glance around, you're not sure what they were looking for because things are thrown, like, everywhere.
Okay. Before I do the investigation thing, is there a way for me to contact this taxi so I can get back to this place, or...
He told you he'd be waiting outside.
I don't want him waiting outside for an hour. Or does he not care?
He's getting paid either way.
Okay, never mind. Oh, God. I rolled a 3.
Well, in this case, it's going to take you a lot more than an hour to find anything. But what you do find, and you only get this because you're an otter.
Okay.
No. You're sniffing. You're looking around, sniffing around, going through all your stuff. Waxing nostalgic every time you see the shreds of Charlie the goldfish. And finally, what you end up with is you catch a whiff of a scent, and it's a scent that's somewhat familiar, but not entirely familiar. So go ahead and give me an insight check, and we'll see how much you recognize of this scent. Well, in that case, nice time for a crit.
Right.
Nice time for
Boom! Immediate
a crit.
recall.
Yep. Well, like I said, this scent is semi-familiar to you because it partially reminds you of a faint scent that every now and then you catch on Malkier.
Huh?
It's not the exact same, but it definitely reminds you of something that you've kind of smelt before on Malkier.
Hey, I showered, damn it.
No, with your rolls, you don't know how to turn the water on.
I know.
Interesting. Alright. Is that all Lucha gets from here?
That is all Lutra gets from there, yeah.
Alright. Lucha opens up the cupboards in his kitchen real quick to see if they left him anything.
The food hasn't been touched.
Oh, well, thank God for that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the food has not been touched.
Look at the fridge to see if I've got any any purchased items inside that haven't gone bad yet.
No, you've only been gone technically about 4 days, so
Good point.
most everything is there, but a lot of it's on its last legs.
Yeah. Lucha shrugs and he just closes the door and leaves the fridge door and just leaves it all. Just I guess it doesn't matter. Lucha goes back up to the cab. So the cab driver says, "Sorry, but you'll wait." And gets back in the car.
Alrighty, so it takes you the requisite time. Spectre, have you woken up from your blackout yet?
I suppose.
Alright, so you wake up from your blackout just about the same time that Lutra gets back with a extremely worried look on his face.
What happened?
Lucha doesn't answer immediately. Instead, he goes directly over towards Malkier.
Who is... are you around at this point, Malkier?
I'm up on the roof as I usually am.
Alright, so yeah, it would take you a bit to find him.
I would also change back into otter form once I'm with everybody else. Once I'm there, I just walk over or Lucha walks over to Malkier and doesn't say anything. He just immediately sniffs him. Deeply, too.
So your on-roof thought process is interrupted by Lutra sniffing you. Question, are you in otter form or human form?
Otter form.
Okay, so it's not as creepy.
Right.
It's still pretty creepy, though.
Yes.
I just kind of look at him and back up a couple of steps and ask what the bleep he's doing.
It's Lucha wait. Yeah! So, that's it. I was just at my apartment, and there was a scent there. It smelled like you. Sort of. Not entirely you, but sort of. My apartment was destroyed. Including Charlie. Poor Charlie. Anyway. But, yeah. Something that smelled like you, but not you. It's within my apartment.
I just kind of look at him and just turn around, just like walking away quickly.
And go ahead and give me a will save. Actually, an insight check on this one.
Hey, wait. I didn't say you did anything. Hey!
You're not entirely sure why someone in his apartment, which you've never been to, would smell like you, but for lack of a better description, your assassin sense is tingling.
Chick kind of runs after Malkier, trying to be like, wait, I didn't say you did anything. Hey.
I just look over my shoulder, just don't go back there. I just keep walking, with
wasn't
a purpose.
Wasn't really planning on it. It's all torn up anyway. I wouldn't be able to go. Hey, must have been somebody found me. How did somebody find me?
It's not you they found, it's me.
How could you don't even know where it is?
Yes, but you're with me. They were looking for me, not you.
No one knows I exist. Well, except
The thousands of people that probably just saw you on TV.
well, they don't know who I am.
They saw us fighting together. That's enough for them.
Doesn't make any sense. Especially if I'm in otter form. No one knows where I am.
Yeah, but then as you two are still having this argument on the roof, you hear a otter form. Well, that's interesting now, isn't it? So I'm going to hold on here, we're going to pull Malkier onto the board. We're going to pull Lutra onto the board. And you guys on the top of the roof are going to see that.
Okay, I'm going to be honest, I can't really tell what that is.
It's basically a black and white version of Moon Knight, for lack of a better description.
Black and white version of what?
Moon Knight.
Oh, okay.
I will get a better one here in a second. Pop here. Pop here. Add handout. Mysterious note. Not that button. Mysterious note. Edit. No, not you. You. Drop a file. Save changes. Show to players. There we go.
Oh, okay.
And with the appearance of this person, Malkier, go ahead and give me a will save.
What's up? Where are you?
Alrighty. You are going to you're going to end up, because we're going to be rolling initiative here in a minute once the thing happens. You're going to be caught up in your own memories, which I will address in a second here. So you're going to get an extra hero point to start off, but you're going to start off the battle basically skipping your first round because you'll be caught up in your memories.
Gotcha.
And basically, the memories that you end up getting you get a flashback to a room, and you're younger, and you're not quite using you're not using real weapons yet. You're using the practice weapons, and it's just for those of you picturing seeing the flashback at home here. It's almost like one of those scenes out of the movie 300 where the kids are fighting with the shield, all that. But instead, it's a younger Malkier and a younger version of who you see in front of you, and they're using the wooden practice weapons. And the big difference is they're using the wooden practice weapons of their preferred type. So Malkier is currently using a sword, and the person in front of you, who you are fighting with, is using. This is a weird thing to say, but a wooden version of butterfly swords. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about when I say a butterfly sword, if you've ever played Final Fantasy IX, the double-bladed weapons that Zidane uses, that is a butterfly sword. So that's the flashback memories you get. And so because you're caught up in your memories when you see this, you're not going to hear the question directed at both of you, which is, where is the Ark?
I'm in otter form.
Yeah. Where is the Ark?
Oh, I thought you said otter.
No, Ark.
So Lucha would probably just kind of seem spaced out, like
Yeah.
you kind of.
Literally, she's over there. Malkier. You okay?
I just don't even register him.
And we lost Predator, huh?
Well, in that case, I guess I'll just have to beat it out of him like old times. And this time, and he brings out 2 butterfly swords, but they are butterfly hook swords. So in that case, I will need initiative rolls from everybody.
That's the thing. Oh my god.
Yeah, mine was much better.
Yeah. And Anton, you will be added to the initiative list as soon as you realize what's going on up here, which is going to take at least a round so you can actually hear the fighting.
Yep, I figured as much.
Mm-hmm. And same thing will happen to Spectre if and when we get that far. But it is going to be this person's turn. And seeing what's happening with Malkier, he is completely ignoring the sort of, nostalgia, whatever, Malkier. And instead he is basically using the sort of roof entrance door, like you've seen typical rooftop, using one of the little stands up there to sort of jump off and propel himself towards Lutra. And he's attacking you with the butterfly hook swords.
Ah! Oh my god, yeah, that hits.
Not only does that hit, that's a crit. Because he's got dangerous on his stuff.
I'm gonna use a hero point right now
I think you might want to.
for an instant counter. And I'm going to... Alright, hold on. So, let me think here. What am I going to do for an instant counter? I'm going to... I don't have to actually attack for an instant counter,
Nope.
right?
Nope.
Okay. So it's just as easy as something as I just jump away really quickly at the last second, kind of a thing.
That could work, yeah. All right. Because the game has a rule for instant counter, and it's you have to either use an attack or something, and I'm like, that's a pain because you're spending a hero point. So the way I like to do it is, you're instant countering, you're spending a resource, a hero point to do it. So explain to me how it's happening, and I'd much rather do that because you're already spending a pretty big resource in a hero point to do so.
Right.
So,
what I'd like to do, I guess, is so he's jumping off of something.
He basically starts running, jumps off basically a vent to sort of propel himself forward, and then as using the butterfly hook swords, as he's coming towards you, he detaches them into two separate hook swords and swings at you with both of them.
Gotcha. Okay.
It actually looks pretty freaking cool.
Right. Yeah. Is there there's something like above me?
No, you're on the roof.
We're on the roof. Okay. So there's not like decorative whatever up here. Okay, got it. Right, because it's a helipad, of course.
Right.
All right. So I was gonna like jump up and hang off of something. I guess that's not gonna work. So yeah, I'll just jump as he's lunging forward. I jump up and like jump off of his head and jump over him.
Yeah. So as he comes down, you jump out of the way at the last second, and both hook swords sort of just like slam into the roof, and anyone who is down below, Anton and Spectre, can go ahead and give me a perception check to hear that, along with his screaming.
Don't we have comms? Can we just like
help? You can yelp for help, but if they hear it, they'll be able to get up there ahead of time.
There you go.
Which Anton will, because he beat the 20. Spectre will not. But since they're in the same area, Anton can obviously alert him.
There's crap going around on the roof again.
Yeah.
Spectre, you hear that? It's time to go to the roof, I think. Something weird's...
Yep. So, you guys will end up here at the end. We know Anton's initiative was 24. So we've gone, he goes, Malkier, as we said, you got the hero point skipping your turn because of the flashback. So Lutra is up.
Lutra lands on the ground, turns around immediately for some odd reason, charges at this guy with his teeth and claws.
He's attacked. He's turned into a rabbit otter.
Right. He's a little on edge right now, so... where's my stick?
That's not going to hit.
Oh, God. No, of course it isn't. Attack move as far away as I can from this guy.
Yeah. I'll get you about 30 feet or whatever. Or no, you have speed, so you can get a little farther away, yeah.
Yeah, alright. And that's it.
Alright, so in that case, since you guys did hear, you'll be able to get up here at the beginning of the round. So I'm assuming the beginning of this round starting with Anton in his armor just bull rushing the door and appearing with hammer ready to go.
Alright, what is that? Oh, that is ugly.
So the bad guy's going to respond with, "He's an otter, of course he's ugly."
Hey!
I was talking more about you.
Oh. Well, aren't you just
That's okay,
adorable?
We'll beat it out of you.
Just tell me where the ark is and I'll leave.
I'm cute.
What arc?
Don't tell me like you don't know.
Actually, none of us have any clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, get on with your villain monologue here. What arc?
I have no monologue. I'm here for the ark. Tell me where it is and I leave. It's that simple.
I got a hammer. You want a piece of it?
If you can hit me with it.
That would be really funny if you smashed him with this.
You will hit him with it.
I'm like, watch him.
He is hard to hit, but you will get him with that. So he will take a bruise.
You were saying?
You got lucky.
Only sandbagging.
Spectre is up. Spectre fires the gun. Yeah, that hits him. No, he'll tie. Because of the bruise, he'll tie. So he will, it will sort of bounce off his Kevlar. And yes, he's wearing Kevlar. And now he's up. And since we know Anton charged in for him, he's just going to sort of look and smile and go, oh, well, maybe I just let you hit me so I could get close and do this. And he's attacking you with the hook swords. And missing, because I rolled a 1.
Oh.
You just missed a guy in
I can just see him getting
armor
with it and like twirling him around and just smacking one of the hooks into the ground while he's doing it.
Basically, that's exactly what happens. And then he'll sort of roll backwards out of the way towards the edge of the roof. But, Malkier, you were out of your flashback-induced stupor.
I just kind of start like shaking my head and kind of like looking at him and like seeing like exactly where I remember him from. It's just not coming to me.
Yeah, an insight check will get you that information potentially. Where you remember him from, you're not sure. You don't know about his real name, but you do remember that his code name is Sauve. That is S-O-V-E with an accent aigu.
I just kind of keep that to myself at the moment while this is going on, and I am going to attack him myself.
Alrighty. Unfortunately, you'll miss. Which is understandable, because you're still sort of like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, I'm still kind of like glassy-eyed, like not fully there.
Angry Otter is up. It's the sequels of the hit kids game Hungry Hungry Hippos.
Alright. So, Lutra kind of stands out in front, and he's going to attempt to use Agile Feint against him.
Alrighty.
Which I think is a...
It's an acrobatics roll.
One of those, right. Oh, God, never mind. Jesus Christ.
He beats that automatically because his acrobatics is a base 15.
Yeah. No, I rolled a 3.
Yeah. So you try and get all fancy, and he just sort of looks at you and chuckles.
Not really what I was looking for. I don't really know what else to do, so...
You can attack.
Right. Okay, I guess I'll try that.
I mean, it's an option. Nope, you can't attack. At least you're consistent.
Yeah, really.
16, 15, 16.
My attack rolls are too low for things like this.
However, it is hammer time.
It is.
However,
I know.
you go to attack him, and you find the dent in the roof where his butterfly hook sword hit earlier, and it trips up your momentum so your hammer misses.
This is the worst slap fight in the history of
This really is. Spectre's up. That one will, I'm not going to say it misses. For funny effect, that's exactly what I'm going to say, is for funny effect, because of Anton tripping and missing, the bullet bounces off Anton's armor instead of hitting. Bing! So at this point, since you're sort of all getting around him now, he he just sort of smiles. Anton and Lutra can see this because they're close to him. He just sort of smiles and be like, "Very well then. If you don't want to give us the Ark, we'll come take it in much greater force than this." And he throws down a smoke pellet. So I will need dodge checks from Lutra and Anton versus the concealment from the smoke pellet. Anton's not going to see this. Lutra will. He throws the smoke pellet and then he jumps off the roof, gets about halfway down the building, uses the building to propel himself, and then flaps open one of those wingsuits and starts flying away.
Lutra points this out to everybody immediately.
It's going to take a pretty good perception check to find him amidst the buildings.
Alright.
Oh, look at that. Malkier in a single-digit roll. Alright, you have a general idea of the direction he's going, but none of the two of you who've made the check can follow him. Well, Anton technically can now.
I'm gonna let him go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna radio. I'm letting him go. I've got an idea where he's going, but I'm not solo fighting him.
No, that's a bad idea. I'm bad over to Malkier. Malkier, you okay?
I just kind of like turn my back to him and just start walking away.
Hey, wait a minute. What's this arc he's talking about?
Your guess is as good as mine. I just like walk inside and just keep walking.
Who is he? I keep following.
I just kind of close the door like behind me before he can get through it. I'm walking.
Ow! I'll ask you later.
I'm assuming Spectre just skulks back inside.
He turns around and just walks back, sort of trying to close the door that Anton smashed open earlier.
You managed to get it sort of halfway there. Like, it's as close as it's getting in its current state.
Then, yeah, I just walked back down towards the labs.
As I head in, I break the door off again. And just leave it on the ground.
I don't think Mr. Casey would like if we keep breaking his stuff.
Yeah. Just quit, showing.
Yeah.
We're gonna need to get him to install some weapons on the building to help us out, because this is getting silly.
How many encounters is this on the roof now?
I think like 5. It feels like we're just fighting up here all the time.
It's a good place for it.
It is. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing it out.
On the way down,
You what? Discorded.
I tell Hub to set up a repair for the door, along with installing weapons on the roof.
You look over at Anton and think, who's Hub?
That's the AI for the building.
Repair is already
thanks, Hub.
scheduled. As for weapons, I'll have to talk to Dr. Casey about that.
Oh, hi, Hub.
Hello, Brandon.
That's actually not my name. My name is...
As you go to tell Hub your name, you just hear this god-awful sound of something having the crap beaten out of it from the weight room / gym. And lots of heavy grunting / like you're punching something coming from there as well. I'll give you the grunting is Malkier.
That's usually more of a Spectre thing. We should probably go see what's going on there.
Something sounds very wrong. Yes, we should go. Okay, then.
So you guys go down to the scene depicted in the chat bar. So basically the best description I'm going to give is you all know the punching bag from Smash? And you all know how that punching bag gets the ever-living tar beat out of it? Yeah. Yeah, it's basically that scenario, is he's just going to absolute town on this punching bag.
We should kind of pad somewhat closer, but still keeping some distance. Malkier, you're gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna hurt yourself more if you keep doing that.
As you say that, you see, as he brings his fist back, you see some blood fly off because he's got bloody knuckles now.
Yeah, that's probably bad. That could get infected.
So one thing you guys do notice that when you come in, like I have my robe off at this point, and you just see my back is just like an absolute lattice of like old, like half-healed scars.
That doesn't look very good.
So basically, from my like shoulders down is just like a whole just mishmash of just like scarred body tissue.
Malkier, what happened to you?
I don't know, but he was involved.
Oh.
All I remember, his name is Sove, and I don't know. I just don't know. I just start going to town on it again, trying to like jog memory.
The punching, unfortunately, is not going to jog your memory, but eventually you're going to hit the punching bag so hard that you're going to rip the punching bag and just sand everywhere.
Clean up.
So at that point, I kind of just like dropped to a knee and just start like breathing heavily, like
So-
trying to calm down from like the.
When you say
Stress.
clean up, the little robot from earlier is going to come out towards the sand, look at the sand, like roll over, look at the sand, turn around, look at you guys, wheel its head back and forth like it's saying, "No way am I touching that," and running back away.
I just look what Lucian just gave him, like the absolute like death stare.
Lucia actually doesn't understand that. It's like, hey.
Back, like, towards, like, the shower room, just, like, pour.
Brian, while he's getting taken care of, why don't you and I go see if we forgot about this arc?
Yeah.
Because that's now that we had people wanting my suit, we got people wanting this arc. I mean, what next? And he said they'd be back with more, so let's go find Mr. Casey and see if he knows anything.
Lucia brushes his fur a little bit and says, "I'm probably got the shower soon." Anyway, he pats up with you.
Hub, can you give us the location of Mr. Casey and have him meet us in the research lab?
Conveniently enough, he's heading up here now. And as you say that, he walks out and he's holding something in his hand. You're not entirely sure what it is. The best description I have is it looks like a lightsaber handle.
Oh.
So, what you got there?
Something from Malkier. Where is he?
He's showering. You might want to give him a minute.
Alright, he'll just walk over and he knows which room's Malkier. He'll just put it on the desk in Malkier's room.
So, we were just attacked again. I'm sure your security system has told you.
Oh, yes.
That and the doorbell.
Hub has told me, and thankfully I've got door insurance. As well as building insurance, so you're fine.
Okay. Also, the gym's gonna need to be cleaned up because Malkier broke the punching bag.
It's the second one today.
Yeah.
Might be time to...
I need a scratching post.
He just looks at you. You're an otter, not a cat.
I have claws. I can't really work out on. I tried in my room once. It didn't work very well.
More pressing issue, though, is the guy who was here wanted the Ark. You know anything about an Ark?
Are we talking about Noah's Ark? I mean, that's the first arc that comes to my mind.
Oh, does Noah have an arc? Where's he at?
Casey just looks at Anton. I am not taking the otter to Sunday school. Yesterday was my day.
It's still today. It's still your day.
Dang it! Wait, wasn't one of the boys named Noah that we were...
No, Ben and Connor.
Oh, okay. Where'd Noah come from?
Noah's Ark.
Yeah, fine. Maybe, I don't know. That's why we were asking you. We weren't, he wanted an arc, and
I mean, Noah's Ark
he was going
is
to
the only
fight us
thing
for it.
that I can think of. I mean, I can definitely try to look into it, but without more information than just an arc.
Oh, what was the guy's name? Malkier just said it. I'm gonna go over to Anton.
Anton shrugs.
Huh? What was it? I'm trying to remember.
So out of character, you forgot?
Yeah.
Sove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of character. I forgot the actual name.
Sove.
So. Lucia like snaps his fingers to it. Sove, that's it.
Sove? That seems more like a code name than a real name.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
Oh.
You hear some typing real quick. That's interesting.
He also said he would be back with more to get the Ark. So, we might ought to put the building on a little higher alert. Since, we keep fighting on your roof.
I should probably put guns up there then if you're going to keep fighting on the roof.
Yeah, that might be a good start.
But I really don't want to put guns on my building that's supposed to advocate for peace. We may have to move to a secondary location if that's the case. But that is interesting. I can get a little more information on the word sauve.
Yeah, sure, let's start with that.
Sauve is a Creole word that means savior.
Savior of what?
It just
He's
means
trying to kill us.
it just means savior.
More riddles. Lovely.
He didn't even ask us a question. Well, other than where's
Where's the Ark? I mean, I did also hit him right after that, and he kind of shut up.
Yeah, that's true. That was funny too. Oh, sorry. So what do we do? Do we just back? That seems weird.
Has anyone actually found the Ark?
You hear more typing. Well, Noah's Ark, probably not. The most commonly looked for Ark that probably won't ever be found because, according to legend, it was burned by Nebuchadnezzar, is the Ark of the Covenant.
Hmm.
And Malkier can come in from his shower whenever he wants to. And throughout this entire time, Spectre is somewhere.
So I just kind of like walk in the room, just like in like jogging shorts, so kind of like not hiding myself anymore, pretty much.
Casey will look over at you. There's a present on your desk.
I saw. I'll try it out later. I'm sure we'll have an opportunity. I just shake my head at Lucha again. Well, Brandon again.
Wait, what? Are you shaking your head at Lucha?
Yes.
I didn't hear you.
Oh wait, did you? Oh, okay. I thought you did the thing in the chat again.
No, that was the from before. This is what I was typing now. I know.
No. Indiana.
No.
It's Jones. Not James.
I only saw it once in a video store.
Indianapolis James, I love that.
What video store were you at, and what was the rest of that title? On second thought, don't answer that.
No.
I'm just picturing Lucha wandering into the adult film section of
Right.
the Blockbuster.
Right.
No, it was just on the TV. I couldn't remember
Oh
what it was.
gosh. Oh my
It was just
word.
I was hiding in there because the police were around, so I just snuck in. I watched the entire movie. I kept buying popcorn things like in a box. They let me stay.
I don't even know what to do with you anymore.
I don't either. And you just hear Hub, play Raiders of the Lost Ark.
You
Yeah.
don't have to.
And Raiders of the Lost Ark stays on TV now. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, we don't have 2.5 hours to sit here and watch this, but I guess the Ark of the Covenants is a good spot to start. Also, we might want to start thinking about, like, traps to set for this guy.
Oh, I saw that movie too. It had a kid in it. He sold a lot of traps. Can't remember the name though.
Would it be Home Alone?
Probably.
Not that we're gonna do better traps than that, but those are pretty good.
Well, I can hide. I'm trying to get out there though. I couldn't even touch the guy.
Yeah. Oh, let's start with the Ark of the Covenant. Let's. Hey, Spectre, you around? Hello.
Spectre casually walks into the room.
Oh, oh hi, Spectre.
He just not glares, but he just glances over at Lutra.
What? Just saying hi.
It wasn't a mean look. He just
He
doesn't
waved.
say anything.
He waves anyway.
So sounds like we're looking for lost treasures. The Ark of some sort, either Covenant, Noah's, or
Well, now that this is
something
the
else.
third time that the word covenant has been brought up, an insight check, please, Malkier. Okay, you swear that you've heard that name before, but you don't remember where.
So I just kind of kind of put my head down and just like face palm, but not really face palm, just like hold my temple, just try to kind of deep thought to see if I remember where I heard it.
Shall we head out?
Thomas, I look at you. Head out where? Jerusalem to look for ruins of ancient civilizations?
Well, someone wants to find an Ark, and they want us to have it, so
They're acting like we had it already.
but we don't. Do we? I mean, I'll throw the Indiana Jones film at him next time he shows up. Maybe that'll satisfy him.
I mean, if
Get the feeling he was looking for a movie.
Maybe he was lonely.
I mean, okay.
But no, seriously, anyone ideas? Like, they think we have an Ark. I don't see an Ark.
Well, the only ark I could think of would be Noah's Ark in I don't know if that's some kind of resemblance of an animal. I don't see any animals in this facility, though. Do you?
Well, we have a giant otter thing next to us. I mean, are you the Ark?
That's what I was kind of thinking. I just kind of look at Lucha.
Huh? She looks at everybody confused.
I kind of just say, like, who are you, really?
My name? My name is...
The power suddenly cuts out in the room because Hub's having fun with you guys.
Trent doesn't really notice except everything goes like black and white.
Hey, what? Hub?
What?
Turn the lights back on.
You guys were implying you were in the dark about ideas, so I figured I would help.
I can still see though.
I mean, I technically can somewhat see with my visor, but still, turn the lights back on. That's not funny.
Fine, the lights get turned back on.
I don't really know other than I'm an otter from space.
Did you ever end up going back to your house? I know you'd asked me about it. I told you to have Casey pick your stuff up, but
Yeah, no, he called me a cab. I went over there and it was all torn up. It was,
Even
someone
Charlie.
yeah, even Charlie. But my whole apartment was just torn up. And there was a scent of, something that kind of smells like, Malkier, but wasn't exactly that. And probably that other guy that showed up. Maybe, I don't know.
did you find anything missing?
No, I didn't find anything missing.
I have a question for you. So you're from space, right?
I guess.
How did you
Thomas is like, I can
get
confirm
here?
that.
Oh. Yes.
Did the ship bring you, or how did you get here?
Well, the only thing they ever told me was that they found me in a crashed ship, looked like a pod almost, out in the desert, as a very young child, perhaps even baby. That's all they would really tell me, because they wouldn't really tell me all that much. They kept trying to tell me my parents abandoned me here, but I don't think that's right either. One of the doctors told me the truth of what they found, but he didn't really know much other than I was found as a baby, and basically a shuttle pod, he called it.
Where is the shuttle pod now?
They must have it.
Who?
The people who captured me.
I wonder if that could be our Ark. I wonder if the guys who ransacked your place are related to this.
I don't know. I still don't even know how they found me. I don't show this form in public. The fact that it was on the news actually kind of worries me. I didn't think about that. You really only cared about making sure Connor was okay.
Mr. Casey, do we know where these people were that held Brandon?
No?
And can we also secure his property? I think we should probably, get all the stuff here.
I can definitely have that taken care of. I have no idea. Remember, I met him the same day you guys did. However, if we want to juxtapose for a minute, we are on the West Coast, assuming that what he is telling us is true and that his pod was discovered in the desert. I think a trip to Nevada might be in order.
Well, shall we take a gamble?
Gamble? What are we gambling?
Before we leave, I just go up to my dormitory and grab a long black bag, just kind of sling over my shoulder.
Hey, Brandon, you're gonna want to go in human form. This place is interesting.
Oh, right. I'll change on the plane. Lucia just tap a few buttons on his belt to make sure everything's working properly.
Just kind of like walking to my to the ship and just like muttering under my breath that he still hasn't told us his damn name yet.
What was that last half? I'm sorry.
I said I just kind of like muttering under my breath about how you still haven't told us your damn name yet.
What'd you say, Malkier?
All right. With that, as Malkier mumbles to himself and heads off towards the plane, that is where we are going to call it for tonight. So in our next session, we'll be taking a trip out into the desert. And as you may or may not have surmised, tonight's episode was in fact called Raiders of the Lost Ark. So, for my players here, you guys are going to get 2 power points for this lovely session. That should bring you up to a total of 165. And for those of you who are still brave enough to be here, thank you all very much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we will see you next week for issue 1.10 or 1.10. Title to be determined.
What would the